I'm DJ Domingo. I'm from London, UK. I'm currently a local bar DJ in here in West London, Portobello, Notting Hill. I do work in the city, and I've been DJing. This is a tricky one. I officially started in '89 and been DJing since 2005. Had a break, restarted in 2013, and have been DJing professionally since then. I specialize in hip hop and R&B, especially the 80s, 90s, and noughties, but do also play the current stuff as well as dancehall, Afrobeat, amapiano, disco, everything, apart from EDM and rock. And yes, and country. Okay, so like I said, I did start twice. 1989, I started with Sound Lab ones, I think, belt drives. And I can't even remember the name of the mixer, but it was a bog standard, very cheap mixer from Tandy, which is, I don't know if you have that out there, but it's like a entry level electronics place where you can make stuff, and they had the equipment. I started on vinyl, ended on vinyl 2005, restarted 2013, missed the whole CDJ, and started with an iPad mixer. I can't remember the name of it. It was a Numark or Vestax. It was a silver thing that you could. And I thought, I could do this again. And from there, went on to a Vestax VCI 380 and a laptop. Yeah, yeah, it was a solid. Yeah, it was a good mixer. I mean, it was a funny time. It was amazing, like not carrying records, right? That's right. I was just on the kitchen table practicing my mixing again. So, yeah. I have done corporate events, weddings, store events, brand events, and festivals. Um, but I do just focus now on the bar side of DJing. I even used to do the clubs, but I prefer the bars. As I got older, it's more about the timing and the quality of the DJing I'm doing. I wanted to do more in line with what I love as a DJ, which is playing the music that I love more so. I guess the clubs are a more younger vibe. It's more full on, and it's the later nights. As I get on a bit, well, I'm 51 this year. Just being out till early morning doesn't work well, and drinking. Yeah, yeah. We've got the family now, so finishing at 11 or latest would be 1 a.m. now from bars. It does allow me to have a daytime energy for my family. I would say my music knowledge and versatility. Uh, I don't know how the newer DJs find this, but as a DJ starting in 80, 89, and we had to buy records, which meant I don't come from a wealthy background, so I had to kind of focus my spend on hip hop and R&B, which is the music I loved anyway. I did try and do a bit of the dance, but that's just a whole new ball game of music. So as with now, with the digital age, um, Spotify, record pools, Apple, Bandcamp, there is an abundance of music. So literally anything, most DJs, if they wanted to, could do any gig, could take on any gig. And also find that also means when I started DJing, I was doing 1 or 2 hour sets, but now I'm doing 4 or 5 hour sets. I'm doing the whole night now instead of sharing an event. Right? Yeah. Yes, yes. But it also means it's turned into where it was more of an event, and you worked and you worked with other DJs. It's now like a lonely event. Should I say? It's not lonely, but you're on your own now. You command the night, which is also a good thing. So you could work out your own lane as well. Like, we used to have warm up DJs and prime time DJs and the end DJs. Now we're all of that, or I'm all of that. So I'm gradually bringing everyone on a journey, like for the night. My main skill I've learned over the years is actually making blends and edits, um, especially with the advancement of a software. but I've been doing blends, I'd say, for almost 10 years. So I've always used I can't remember which store it was back then, but now I'm on Ableton. I use Ableton right now. Probably was an early version of Ableton, but obviously just using acapellas and instrumentals I already had in my library. Couldn't create them back then, or I wasn't aware you could create them back then, or didn't have the skills to create them. So doing that and the edits just make a big difference, like intro edits especially. Just it just allows for because I'm not a turntablist. I like to say I'm more of a mixer and blender. So having easy intros, DJ intros, just makes everything a little bit smoother and easier for the night. So that's one of my main skill sets that I kind of feel I specialize in, if anything. I'd go to sites like Acapellas for You. There were these sites where you could just find people that done DIY acapellas, and yeah, I've been yeah, like so we met during the pandemic, right? During online on Twitch and stuff. So I remember 4 years ago just actually doing my first live blend on Twitch, and it was more of a challenge, you know. So they'd give someone give me an instrumental, and they'd ask me could I mix a Celine Dion track with that. It was actually my first thing. My first ever live blend was someone gave me an instrumental. Can't name an instrumental, and someone said they wanted to hear Celine Dion, and then someone else added DMX. And I made a blend with those two tracks the following day. I didn't do it live because it was harder to do live back then. Um, but yeah, I've been waiting for stems for so long. I've had so many ideas. Waiting. It took like I had this idea to do a New Jack Swing album using more current tracks. As soon as stems came out, that's the first project I dropped. Like 22 New Jack Swing tracks of artists you wouldn't have ever heard do New Jack Swing. So. As long as you are the right DJ for your event and that event's successful, I think that makes a good DJ because you could have people who are great turntablists or have great skills, but it might not be necessary for that event. I think the great DJ has to be the one who's suited for the job of or whatever it is. If it's a bar DJ, if it is a club DJ, if it is a corporate DJ, if it is a wedding DJ, if it is a I don't know, beach DJ, lounge DJ. As long as you're the right DJ for that job and event, that's a good DJ. I see a lot of people, and no disrespect to them, and but I see a lot of people just take every DJ job because it's a DJ job, whether they're a right fit or not. And I mean, I guess there is a certain element. A lot of people are open format, and a lot of people can do it. But I think can you do it well is a question most people should ask themselves. And if there's someone better suited, and you know someone better suited, I think as a DJ, being a good DJ is also passing it on to the right people, so that everyone can have their slot. Everyone could be in their lane. I wouldn't take, say for example, I wouldn't take a soca DJ job. I love soca. I could play soca to commercial soca listeners, but I wouldn't do a soca night. But I know people who would. I know people and DJs who would just. I just think the opportunities there's so many. It's hard to explain this. There's so many like different types of DJs that I think to be a good DJ, you just work in your lane, your right lane. I think we shouldn't. I'm a bar DJ. I like being a local bar DJ. I don't think I'd ever be an international DJ. I just think we shouldn't overstep as well because then you do add pressure on yourself as well. Something I see a lot of people all the time. Oh, I've got to do just use an example. I've got to do a country gig. Anyone give me 100 country songs? Why would you want to do that? Like you don't have it in your repertoire already. So why don't you go? Do I know any country DJs? That also makes part of being a good DJ is like, right, yeah, like this is not for me. I know someone who might be a bit better, or they might be a bit better. I think there's that balance as well. I get it. We all got to put food on our tables as well, but it does also affect, and I also feel that's why it affects the DJ industry and community. They're not important to me personally, but I do see the benefits of it. It gives a little spice. It gives a little seasoning to your DJ sets, and also shows a certain level of competency and skill instead of just the normal button pushers. No disrespect to anyone that does that either, But I just, it just they're to turntablists. I think they are more for DJs, not for the general public. But there are people who do understand that. There are, yeah, they're scratching, great. They're transforming, great. They're doing wordplay, they're doing tone play, great. I think music production is important for DJs to make you stand out. Yeah, if you have an idea, because I think DJs primarily we're almost like early producers in our heads as we're mixing and blending and we're doing, and then just to see when you're DJing, it goes, oh, these two tracks went really well together, and then to get back into your studio and create your edit or your blend or your mashup, and then drop it the next time, and just keep building your repertoire of that. I think that makes you stand out, gives you your old style and flair as well. As you know, I know so many DJs, you know what kind of music you're going to get, and we could all have similar tracks, but the way we all put them together is what makes us stand out. And I think music production plays a big part in that. I don't know if it's a backwards or forwards things, but I remember when you DJ and everybody would have their back to you and have a good time partying. I don't get why everyone needs to turn around and look at the DJ now. Yeah, yeah, I get that. I get a lot of the bright lights, like trying to look at the decks and what we're doing. Um, I just want people to have fun, really. But I don't know. We have built that. We have built it as a community. Like we have made DJ stars now as well and put them at the forefront, which is great. Which is great for the DJs that like that. But I find that a lot of pressure as well. Like I'll actually stop now. I'll just do a normal mix. Well, I don't do the hand dancing, but I am dancing. I am constantly bopping. I think for me as well, dancing as a DJ, there is that yeah. A lot of people don't like it, but I think that brings an energy to you. If you're not enjoying it, if you're not looking like at least looking like you're enjoying your music, it's gonna. I feel it does translate onto the dance floor. Imagine being broken-hearted while you're DJing. Like you would just be playing sad songs. Yeah, yeah, I totally get it. I don't like it. I do try and play a part of the game of influencing. Going viral is the biggest marketing hack now. If you can get that, you can surely develop your career. Um, but influence, I do think it's important. I think it's important connecting with people like outside of your network, especially worldwide. It's gonna open doors to many people outdoors, but it also keeps you in connection with your actual community and your network you already have. Um, most of my Instagram posts, or what used to be TikTok posts until they stopped allowing music, are just of my streams. So it's to bring back little memories of when I did a mix or a blend or a transition that I did live, and then I just replay that, and hoping it will encourage people to come back to shows or watch shows or join the community. So or pick up on it and say, oh, I like the way this guy DJs. Let's bring him in. It's part of the world now. It's part of most scenes, and yeah, we're not just DJs anymore. We're style icons. We're photographers now. We're videographers. We're script writers. Well, so I haven't promoted in a while, but promoting was a great way for me personally to get my first gigs back in when I started in 2013. I just stopped DJing. Well, I'd stopped DJing because my son was born. He got a little bit older, had more evenings back, and I was like, I love DJing. I've got the evenings now to do DJing, but everybody I worked with were no longer around in the music scene. So promoting helped me because I came up. with this idea. I found this group of individuals online, and they were planning to do a mini festival, but right, just working with all the bars in my local community. So I got involved in the promoting of that, and also, as I said, I was helping promote. I also pointed I was a DJ, so I could also DJ at each of the bars, which gave me a connect and into each of the bars who could also see how I worked and would put a face. And so promoting does help. I haven't needed to do it in a long while apart from my own personal events, but I don't seem to push. I don't know. My own personal events seem to be a bit more natural now than having to plug and promote and text and flyer and traditional promoting. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. It could do. I think it'll be a lot to do with also the network and the bars I work with as well. So and because I do try and stay within my community. That's quite important to me, staying within my local vicinity now. So I live in Notting Hill, Portobello. So I work with about 3 bars there now, which is great. Everybody knows everybody now, and they'll be able to. We'll all be able to promote each other. All right, so and so, you want to listen to house today? They're going to be at this bar. You want to listen to R&B? They're going to be at this bar. So I think that helps working with your community and your neighborhood. I always felt DJing is quite a lonely experience before, and until you started working, I could, you people like you got your peer groups, right, and most of them aren't going to be DJs, people you grew up with, unless you're really a tight clique that you all gravitated towards the same thing. But I didn't have any other DJ friends, like or real like friends, real friends who were DJs. So I found that by networking, and then slowly turning my network into friends who just happen to DJ. So and I think it's always helped. Like one of the benefits of being local and working so closely with my bars now. I've been like with 2 of the bars for 10 years. So they trust me enough to be able to replace myself if I need to have an evening off or I want to take a holiday. So which then allows me to use my network to build up on that. And likewise, I get offered jobs from my friends as well. They would go, "Oh, look, I need cover. Can you cover me tonight? Or what are you doing next week? Could you cover me?" So it was mainly on Twitch. During the pandemic, we all got onto Twitch, and it was so I'd watch many DJs there, and you'd have the whole world to you. So it'd open new music, you know, and everyone was open to sharing back then. So you could always ask, what was that, or you'd even have little I forget what commands that you could find out what tracks they were playing, or you could Shazam while you were listening. Yeah, I do now follow a lot of people from that onto like their Bandcamp and their social media. Um, but Bandcamp's one of my favorite places. Also, what's the other one? SoundCloud. I do love a SoundCloud. Yeah. You know what I don't like about SoundCloud is do this, do this, do this, you know. If you want this track, firstly you got to like us on Instagram, then you got to like us on Mixcloud, then you got to leave a comment, and then you got a link. It's like but I get it. I get it. It's a marketing tool again. I think if you want the track and you want to stand out, and that's part of the graft. Remember now, we're not buying records. Like a lot of the SoundCloud and the Bandcamp edits you can get for free. So a couple more buttons clicked for free music, for free great music that not many people are gonna get. I think helps you stand out as a DJ. It does inspire me as well because that's what also inspires me to. All right, cool. I got up my edits and blends game. I haven't done a pack in about 2 months. All right, let's go. Let's get on with it. So and you get inspiration as well. So yeah, I do also like I do, it's hard to say. I do also like the AI facilities we have now with like Tidal and Spotify. Though I don't like Tidal and Spotify. Because the algorithm does help you find like similar artists who you're currently listening to. Yeah. I think also what's missing, we haven't seen in a while, but I used to follow a lot of our blogs. Used to blogs, but I came from the blog scene as well. I used to do a hip hop blog back in the 90s. So I found used to find those was a great way to find early music and breakout songs. I haven't had to curate one in a while because I work at bars. I'm a regular at. I'm there so often. I do mix it up, but I kind of always read in the crowd. I always want to kind of inject some new life into it. But however, I would curate nights when I would work for corporate events or weddings, and how I curate those is I would just very simply how communicate with the client and ask at least for a 20 to 50 track playlist just to give me an indication of where they wanted to go. And then I would speak to them on, especially for like weddings or like birthdays, not only ask must haves, but must not play. I think like, that's very important. Especially like a wedding, like, and they hate a specific track and all right, cool, don't want to play that. So I think that's important to create nights is know who your customer or your client is. I mean, I try and handle everything with humor and fact. Um, so if I get the phone requests, this is my new one. I do a lot. If I get a phone request, I will grab their phone and put it next to my turntable, and they'll be confused. Because I thought you giving it to me. I do also have a I do also have a screenshot of tip me on my phone. So I could highlight my phone back, and it'll be tip me. What do you want to tip me? 10%, 12%, 15%? Exactly. So that's one of the tricks I will use if I do feel right. I'm not reading this crowd well. I thought I had them. I'll get on the microphone and I'll tell them, look, I'm not here for me. I'm here for you guys. So let me know what you want to hear. I can't guarantee I can play everything. All I ask is you come with manners and respect, and I will treat you likewise. Um, so that seems to work. And like also, yeah, requests. I'll take requests also, and I think it's just the way you are. If you can't play it or you feel it doesn't fit, I would explain that. I know we've only got like 2 minutes till the next track, so I try and be as as sharp about it as possible, just to let them know. Look, I'll try, or it doesn't fit in tonight. Sorry, maybe later. Maybe not right now, or it's just not the bar policy. So yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't work in an environment where like I said, I'm not a superstar international DJ. My job is to make sure everybody has a good night, and part of that is taking requests. Reading the crowd to me is getting a majority of the crowd, not reading every single one. You're never gonna guess what everybody's like. But reading crowd to me also takes a bit. You got to be a bit smart about it. Um, so uh, I think like it's about requests as well, where I talk to people about requests. I got when I'm playing music, when people say, "Oh, they love this song," but they love this song. I'm playing to 100 people. Let's just be simple as that. So my job is to make 80% of those people dance. Well, 80% of those people have a good time, so it's got to be quite general. That's what I feel about reading it. Unless you're going to a music specific night, especially as an open format, you've got to read 80%. And I do this also by like checking with the bar staff. Okay, what parties do we have in? Do we have any Hindus? Do we have any 40ths, 21st? Do we have any engagement parties? It always helps. And I don't also mind, like we talked about, getting on the mic and asking requests. I'll also do, right, cool, do we have any reggaeton lovers in tonight? Do we have any R&B lovers in tonight? Do we have dancehall? Do we have soca? Because, if I get someone who requests soca and I goes, I don't think there's enough people in their bar tonight that would like soca. But then I said, all right, so do we have any soca lovers? And then you've all of a sudden got a crowd of people. and it also then allows you to rotate your bar as well. I think for as a DJ, people also forget my aim is to also make them buy drinks. So I can't have them always, I can't always have them on the bar, right? I mean, on the dance floor, I've got to get them to the bar, so it's nice to mix around the music. Yeah, another way like I would try and manage or read a crowd is really early on is go through the genres quite quickly, maybe two or three tracks in and out, see what moves people's heads, see what gets people going, just as an idea. Doesn't always work because you might have the people who come really early and then go home early, and then you got to. But that's another thing. But I think reading crowd is reading the majority of the crowd in principle. I mean, we've got everything now. You could do it online. You got the social media, networking. Uh, one of the ways I got into I worked with an agency was I found an agency on LinkedIn. Um, Also, we have going supporting other events. Say events you like. Say events that you think you we good to DJ in. There's no point just hitting those guys up. You've got to be part. You've got to show some support as well. You hear it loads of times. Oh, he wants to DJ, but are they ever at my party? Are they ever at the event? I think so. Yeah, it's networking. It's networking all the way through industry events. Twitch meetups, DJ meetups. DJ events, there are loads. Even going to DJ schools now, I see a lot of people are doing stuff like that. They're doing a DJ night, DJ schools, and then other DJs who would go down there. I think also there's a new one that hasn't been done a lot, which I would like to look into, is a DJ mentoring. Maybe getting a DJ mentor. That'd be a good way to get a gig, I think. And I don't know why we're not doing enough of that. Just literally just came as we was talking this idea, but I have thought about it before. Like as I'm trying to slow down, reaching out to I maybe should do it as a post. I might do it as a post when I finish this. See if there's any up and coming DJs in my area that would like to DJ, like to have me DJ mentor them, and that would mean they would come and maybe do a set with me. I'd be quite worried to not do the payment thing. I think we're underpaid already. Um, but I wouldn't mind like trying to sort out and do an hour warm up set like we used to do back in the day. Have warm up DJs to a whole night just to get them used to it, get them experience. Say yeah, right, I work at this bar and and I'm there. And then also because I've worked with them a bit, and I'll be like, right, cool. I need to. I'm going on holiday, or I need to take a day off today. I'm not well. One of the worst things about being a DJ is, we can't be ill on, and we can't find out we're ill on the day because it's like, what we're gonna do. But it would solve that, I guess, having someone you can mentor and say, right, are you free? Are you free today, or do you know anyone that's free? But I think mentoring would be good. Yeah, that's right. So they already know. They already know. They're not going in crashing. Especially because they haven't had no experience. They goes on, and then you want to try a decent bar for the first time. You got to do all night, and you've never played it. Being mental and working with someone, maybe just doing a warm up, or maybe doing a close. Maybe they've done a smaller pub or a bar just down the road, and it goes, "Oh, I can close for you today." All right, cool. Let's do that. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm trying to think about this. No, the only thing I would tell everyone is just be you, be authentically you. We can try so much to do so many things, but I think what really counts is who you are, you, and love what you do. Don't I don't do the fake it till you make it stuff. You gotta love it. Like I think that's what's important for the music and the culture. Like is to just be you and love it. I mean, nobody can be you, right? So that's how you're gonna stand out. Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've never been caught out. Um, never been caught out. But I do. Like anytime I work with someone for the first time, we need to set out how and when I'm gonna get paid, which is the most important reason why I do it. I do love it, but if I give someone, if I give someone 4 or 5 hours of my time, I need to make sure I'm compensated. So if you're doing one-off events, always, always, always get paid before your gig. If it's a one-off event, weddings, especially weddings, corporates, private parties. I think you might be quite easy with corporates. You can be a little bit more relaxed, especially if it's a reputable company. You can't, you know. I've been fortunate. I've worked with some well-known brands, so there's a certain element of trust in there. It was but like I said, now I've worked mainly the two. I work with, yeah, I work with the companies I am now for a couple of years now. Apart from a new venue, and they're paying me next day. I can say also though, but going back to that one time of not being paid, I I did work with a promoter who didn't get paid, but they made sure I got paid. Yeah, I haven't needed to do that in a while, but one of the main things I remember, this is back when I restarted, was going around giving mixed CDs to going to the events and yeah, giving mixed CDs out. If I was at a party, I'd have a few. So if anybody ever liked them or liked it, I thought mixed CDs were better than giving a business card out to someone because I could still give them details, but it would remind them what music I played and stuff like that. We have barcodes. Could do barcodes. I have a barcode, or I don't know if you have them. I've got right on the back. I can tap my phone, and it will send people to. It'll give them links. It'll give them my business card. Give them mixed CDs. It gives them my merch. Could even make requests. I try not to give that bit to everyone at the beginning of an evening. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like I said, I think we worked less hours before. Um, Now we're doing the whole night. I don't know. See, because I had that big gap, so I don't know if it gradually. Well, I don't know if it peaked or especially income wise. But for me, a big thing was that I remember starting DJing. I was just doing 1 or 2 hours, and now I rarely get to DJ with other DJs unless it's a festival or a group event or a Twitch event. Yeah, so I'm not doing clubs anymore. I'm doing bars, and yeah, and I'm just working with my local community. So yeah, I think that's primarily my fault or my doing, and it's a situation I'm quite happy with. So the consistency, I don't think there was a consistency in DJing. I can see DJs in the same bar, but they'll be you know so different in skill set. I think which sometimes I feel is sad to see. Um, but I get it. You don't. I don't know the full story. That might just be their first night. It might, it might, they might have just covered. You never know. I think one of the major changes, otherwise, fully in DJing, is the amount of music that's available to DJs. Mainly, that's the biggest thing I've seen. Well, like I said, I started music, and there was no way I could pick more than three genres of music to DJ, let alone have the remixes and the edits and the mashups available, and which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. Which is where you can hear the experience or the creativity of DJs, which is a good thing. You still have the DJs who are just playing same format, or there are the DJs who are doing all of that and more. But I think what's great is having the DJs that do the mixed, the middle part. Having the skill and techniques, but also playing the tracks that people do want to hear a bit more of. You know, letting it breathe, letting people dance a little bit more. So, yeah, yeah, that's why I feel like the consistency is missing. You'll have people who just do the 1, 2 all the way through, and then you go back to the same bar the next week, and you've got a DJ who's just kind of up like a madman or a mad woman, right? And it's like, yeah, I mean, there's like we're stuck, aren't we? There's some of us who like hearing the song, and there's some of us who just want, they got the memory span of a goldfish, right? That's what they want. They want quick mix. They want intros, and yeah. I think it's just the creativity, right? Yeah, there is. It feels like it's limitless right now. So I can only imagine as we build with it, how much more we can do with it. I mean, turntablism for itself has changed. Stems has changed. The way DJs now, and that's only what's that 2 years old, and everybody and people are still learning about stems. Oh, stems! Oh, just I've just upgraded my new laptop. Oh gosh, I could do stems. Why have I not updated earlier? Um, just creativity, and that also sparks enjoyment and love for it, and creates new elements of the culture. So I think the negatives though of technology advancement for mainly is because there's so much music, it's stopping DJs educate the crowd. I think because everyone has the same access or believes they have the same access to us. I mean, it's also a part of like with Instagram and TikTok, and they do the trends. It goes that was primarily our job as when we was doing the bars or the club scenes. We was the one introducing people to music, and now we're having to follow. Yeah, we're having to follow what's going on, or we have to keep an eye on the trends to what's going on. It's a great tool as well that for that, but it's also taken a certain element of respect away from us to like we know we're we study this. We invest our time. You listen to it, but we invest our time looking and looking and looking, and sort of taking that away from us. Near the end of the night, I like to slow it down. I love the old '90s R&B, and I was playing "Can We Talk" by Tevin Campbell. Everybody, but one woman, was enjoying it. Everybody was singing, and she was doing the whole. And I really just wanted to say, this is where you're not looking at your environment. You're looking at yourself. You might not like it. I don't know. You didn't book me and tell me don't play this song. But if you take your surroundings and you see everybody else is enjoying yourself, then just be a part of that. Be a part of that. Unless you booked me, that's the only time I would say you could put your hands on your hips and tell me, no, that's a rubbish song. Yeah, you don't know what could trend, isn't it? I think one of the typical ones is the TikTok between a TikTok dancer and a professional dancer. And that's what social media. You can blow up doing a little TikTok move, but someone who's trained and trained and trained and trained for years is not getting the same exposure. Um, but I mean, also it's not a bad thing, is it? I guess it's not a bad thing. I mean, we can all pick and choose what we watch, right? But like, it does also teach DJs, well, look, maybe like I was talking about earlier, right? Maybe I was talking about, no, what I was talking about earlier is like, nobody wants someone scratching all night, or make sure it's a night where they should be doing it. Obviously, from the events, it is the tracks that are making it, which is why music production, people are just playing tracks and well, playing blends and blowing up. And it's music production, which is, why music production is so important to DJing. So you could, you know, it's like I also used to feel for myself because I'm not a great turntablist. And there was a time that was so important to me, like, oh, why can't I do it? I need to get it. I need to get it. But you can still create a career and have a decent career. I think also mainly it's only like the hip hop and the R&B that turntablist really does affect. When you think of like EDM and house music, maybe to a certain extent, like country music, you probably wouldn't need to cut and scratch. We're definitely going to start losing spots in corporate, maybe, or hotels. Uh, Maybe to a certain extent where I live now in bars. Clubs, I think, still got to be quite relatable to people. Maybe bars as well. But anything that doesn't involve too much DJ customer reaction, you could have it all like we're doing the virtual. But then I also think as long as there's humans, we're still going to want human interaction though. Like we do have some time on it. I don't think we're totally going to disappear, but I think it'll be niche quite niche, quite specific. I think online as well as much as that's part of being AI, but I think online like communities such as Twitch are going to keep people connected to their DJs. I think because there's so much more going on in there with a Twitch. I don't know how many people watch this that do stream on DJ and Twitch. But one of the biggest reaction thing is that when I DJ, I can't talk to anybody when I'm in public. I mean, just very briefly, when I'm having conversations. But with streaming, it's all about communication. It's all about talking. It's all about engagement. So I think they can't take that bit away. So there are angles to move on from. But I do say a lot. Yeah, there'll be a lot of that will be taken away from us. But I think we've just got to evolve. Yeah, well, you're actually creating live. Yeah, in one of kind mix. You're not going to hear this again. It's very much like the blendings of what we're doing now, and then like a yeah. I mean, there's also other angles. What I love doing as well when sometimes on a stream, I haven't been able to recently, is that I'll get two or more DJs in there. So you're having four turntables, two ideas. They're not going to get that. They're not ever going to be able to have two different ideas. It'll be AI is only going to be like a singular artificial intelligence. So there are ways, and I think as well as it all evolves, we'll evolve with it. That'll be a new type of DJing, like we have stems now. You know, we didn't have that a couple of years ago. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, the music industry stopped all of that, didn't they? And they just reap the rewards. They built it. They built it. They do they control a lot of it. I feel. I don't have all of this as fact, but you hear it all the time. You hear it all the time. They give him this great contract, but it's never really a great contract. The artist never wins. The art is not never. Rarely the artist succeeds. And they're the ones giving us the music. They're the ones giving us their heart and soul. Um, it's just sad. But you hear of stories. Some people play the game as well. So I love the Frank Ocean one. Do you hear the Frank So Frank Ocean released a mixtape and he got the whole music and he was already signed, right? So he gave them, it goes, well, I'm do good, right? Imagine if you gave me a whole month, right? And then he changed his whole contract. I think he managed to persuade them to change his whole contract for a better contract. Then gave them a dud album. He gave them the bare minimums on an album and used all of their marketing as soon as he done it, and it dropped him out of the contract, and then he dropped the real album after he'd finished his contract, and straight after he had dropped the album with the record label. So he used that album that they pushed as his promotion for his real album, where he really benefited from it. Um, but not everybody can do that, you know. Yeah, it's tough out there, man. They saw everyone was gonna start winning from the online stuff. So I've no doubt in my mind that's why Spotify and Apple iTunes and everyone got on it so they could, you know, not give because it was I think we felt at the time everybody had a chance to do it. Everybody, it was a level playing field for everybody to make music and have a chance of making money because there was a few, weren't there? There was a few that was making it through. Soldier Boy being one of the main ones, and they just crippled that with the streaming services. Crippled it. I don't know. I mean, I've always, I do work, do the social media stuff. I just try and remember why I got into music. I've never wanted to be a DJ, this DJ. I never thought. I just love music, and this is how I got into it. So um, I don't know. I don't know how I can answer that one. Right. So we had that thing. What does a DJ actually do? Do you remember that kind of that viral moment that girl was crying? What do actually DJs do, right? But now I also see it's a great platform. Yeah, but at the same time, I believed, there's the Cuba craze battle that's about to happen. I think that's strategic though as well. Like, look, let's actually show you what DJs can do and do it at the peak. Like, these are the two ultimates, you know. Right. And you know what? They keep saying the same things to each other. They keep attacking each other in the same way. Like, yeah, I'm a better battle DJ. I'm a better scratch DJ. He's a better battle DJ. He's a better scratch DJ. So I do slightly think it's a little mockery, and I think they just like, well, we'll just put DJing up in the forefront again, and it's good for that. It's good for us when when the two pioneers or the two people right at the peak can use that platform, and it just build awareness for everybody else, right? I think more so because I'm slowing down. I haven't got much of I'm hoping this is my last year as a full-time DJ. I don't think I'll ever stop DJing. I don't think I'll ever stop DJing. I'd like, because of streaming, I won't stop streaming until there's no one viewing watching me on streaming. So I guess that said, I think streaming is the way to go. Who said it recently? Jazzy Jeff. Yeah, so the future, I think streaming, like I think Jazzy just said this recently, and I guess because they've done the new Twitch updates, right? Or the Twitch updates that are happening in about a month's time. Will be interesting to see what happens. But DJ Jazzy just said the biggest club in the world is Twitch. Who wouldn't want to be at the biggest club in the world? And that's a platform everybody can reach to. You know, it is hard, it's a grind, but I like it, and we was talking earlier with how AI could stop and be a bad impact on DJing, but with Twitch and Twitch communities, it gives the interaction with people you wouldn't even necessarily get access to, but they are like-minded. A lot of communities that are built on Twitch are by like-minded. It's a that phrase, your vibe attracts your tribe. So I feel that's going to be a big way, especially with all the majors now signing that deal. Just seeing what happens. We're seeing what happens now with the new deal for there's an actual DJ category on Twitch. It's evident that that's one of the places to go with or go forward to. Well, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, like you could have one guy play all the music, or have a band, right? Have a band, and they're not. If they got paid what the DJ got, they wouldn't survive, right? There's three or four or five maybe. So, um, yeah, I I don't know. I haven't seen anything emerging with trends. I I think I've seen it. I know a few of myself. One of them, the DJs who are streaming from the events. Well, that's part of technology. Um, yeah, and I guess you already get that because you got your boiler rooms and your vibe rooms where people are, they're all streaming events now. Glastonbury streamed. Yeah, we have the boiler rooms here. We have the brunch. Done a few brunches. So yeah, it's a day party, and it's more of like a real sing along. So you're playing all the commercials. It's always themed. It's always a themed brunch. 90s, 80s, noughties, disco, Afro beats, hip hop. They'll have a brunch like that. Before that though, before that we have nights. A friend of mine does a good big successful night. It's called hip hop karaoke. So it's a bit like the brunch, but someone will come up and actually, so they'll play hip hop and they'll be just rapping along. They'll still have you can have I guess now with stems they could take them out, but they'll still have them. Yeah, so it's like everyone gets a chance to just perform, and it's still just as much a party night because you've just got someone else rapping on there. But I have had opportunities where I've had some celebrities that are at a bar come in and they'll do an impromptu set while I'm DJing. And I think, yeah, maybe that should be done a little bit more. They used to do that a few months. I know they probably do that, probably like LA and Vegas an awful lot. No, but it was also the music was different, right? You had the karaoke version, which was like, what instruments are they actually playing? It was like childlike instruments. Toy, yeah, right. It's like toy instruments. Just it sounds like the song. Yeah, yeah. You can blame the Filipinos for that one. Well, on that note, events-wise, like looking at the future events, I mentioned earlier during the pre the interview, I do my own nights, which is all based around neo soul and music I love. So I'm bringing in an older crowd. We're finishing earlier. A DJ that I know of here in UK, named Nikki Beatnik. Um, and she's a mum DJ, and she's doing these parties now called Mums That Rave, and they're other day parties, and I think that's also an angle that's missing because, like, if you think of it, most people go to bars really late, bars or clubs really late in the evening. But as we get older, we still love the music, still want to party, but we want to be home. We want to be home early. We still got the next day. We still got the kids to get up and feed and look after. So I think I'm not sure if it's a trend per se, but I see that's happening. Like, I just see, like, and I'm pretty sure there are a few more events, and I think that's also why brunches help as well. Because it's older people can go out, or people, younger people can use it as pre-drinks, and older, mature people can use it. Right, this is my party, and then I'm still gonna be able to go home and get on with the rest of adulthood. But also, I mean, remember we did have the pandemic where everyone was stuck indoors, so they're not used to going out, and the drinking culture is slightly different. I think you know they're not used to partying when their formative party years were gone, taken away from them, so they're not partying the way that we know how to party. We go out, dance, um, they're all online based, aren't they? They're all yeah. So yeah, they want to be more and more a part of it, right? So yeah, so I think that's what brings them more into it. Has to be Twitch meetups. Has to be Twitch meetups. As we went into the pandemic, a lot of DJs found their way onto social media. Facebook, Instagram. I found my way onto Twitch, and when we had no more work, um, and for me, it just opened up the world. Met so many DJs, met so many people, and just going out and seeing these people who don't know how much they supported their DJs and saved many DJs' lives. And likewise, you'll hear the same stories back. I'm still meeting people, and we are good coming into what is our third year out now, maybe. Yeah, I'm still meeting people who have been on the channel, and I might not have seen them in the past 6 months because they come off Twitch. But as soon as they say, "I'm so and so," oh, but my username on Twitch was this, and you go, "Oh my gosh!" So yes, yeah, Twitch meetups are my favorite events at the minute, just because it's about reconnecting with people I've met virtually, and you never know who you're gonna meet next. Oh yeah, so yeah, we talked about the nightclubs, and yeah, I mean, money's different. Everyone's talking about the money, income, but also like we talked about because of the pandemic, people's entertainment and spending and partying and going out habits are totally different. They're not used to it. They've worked out other ways to entertain themselves. A lot of things are more event based and experience based, and partying and dancing isn't one of those anymore because they've done that at home and stuff. Maybe I mean, concerts are ridiculously expensive, and I get it. That's where the artists make their money. But maybe, maybe if the record labels were fairer and gave more money, then they could charge less on the concerts and still, and yeah. At the same time, we made a lot of these artists rich too quickly, just like celebrities and sports stars. I would say run an event. I mean, just from my experience, because running an event isn't just a night. You can get a venue, find a venue, and then you DJ there that night. You're off. But if you're running an event, it's a lot of work, and you're only going to get your reward once the event's done, right? So you don't know. Yeah, I would say just on that and my little experience in it, running an event. I mean, Well, I remember told you I got back into DJ by running events, but I did all those events as a charity festival, raising money for charity. So nobody got paid apart from who we were raising money for. Well, my kids, yes, because as a DJ, we'd influence them, right? My kids, yes, I would influence them. My daughter has very similar R&B taste to me. We listen to the current R&B together now. You know, my son, fortunately, so he's 19 and he has come and spoke to me about, oh, Bob Marley, can you throw me in the direction, or I should go with Bob Marley now? Or he'd goes, oh, do you remember, I taught him when he was like 9, right, you need to learn the lyrics to Triumph by Wu-Tang and stuff like that. So I kind of played this to him really early. And then all of a sudden he's grabbed on and gravitated and he's playing Souls of Mischief. He's playing a Tribe Called Quest. No, he's not. He's not. He's at university. My daughter was the one who wanted to get into DJing or does DJ. They can both DJ to a certain extent, but that's not something that they're passionate about. Uh, but I think, yeah, younger kids, what I think they don't do is what I remember doing. They're not really learning. They're only learning their music. I don't think many kids. But I might be wrong, but I don't think many kids were like. But when I grew up listening to hip hop and R&B, it was the beginning of like sampling. So it gave me like, right, right, where's that? Where's that? Like when you hear now, they think they created that, but we never thought we created that. We knew, all right, that's an 80s, that's a 70s record. Let's go find that 70s and 80s record. And I don't think so they're not learning and educating themselves that way. I feel I could be wrong. I mean, there's always going to be an anomaly. There's always going to be some that are looking at it. But yeah, I don't feel a majority are. They just listen to what they got, and it's not going to be nice for them in about 30 years. I don't feel. When it's a reunion time to see, they've not got very nice lyrics to sing in the 30 years time when they're like hitting adult. I think the whole idea of being creative and individual. But one of my favorite skills that I've seen come up quite recently, and I'm trying to get a little bit more involved in it, is I do love wordplay. I do like the wordplay style of DJing. It's often overlooked by a lot of people. Even in the bars, they're not going to get it. But I think there's a certain accomplishment if you could do that and still hold a night. I love that. I don't like tone play. I think like tone play, about 90% of that is rubbish, and 10% of that is great. So it's more better, and it's a better element, and yeah, it's creative. Before it's mixed in key. We always had this conversation with other DJs. What's mixed in key? Like it's just making it sound right. So you really don't need keys. Just use your own ears, right? So Ableton to create my mashups and blends. Uh, right now, I also use Serato Studio to create now my own master stems. So I use them just to quickly get the idea, and then I run them into. I'm more comfortable in Ableton, unless it's one of those magic mixes where the intro, the chorus, and the verse all matches, right? Because I still believe in structuring and reproducing the track so it fits in. Um, what did we say? So, yeah, there's Ableton, there's stems. My favorite thing, well, I think one of the most important tools, and I think a lot of DJs miss on, is when they're pre-mastering their tracks, leveling their tracks. I use Platinum Notes. So many times, I know when we was on vinyl, we'd always have to trim, we'd always have to adjust. Um, but if you have Platinum Notes, I always, every single track that's in there, I run them through Platinum Notes, so I know they're always gonna be near perfect, the same level, and it just saves so much time and EQing, and you could do quick mixes and quick drops. Yeah, I use Pixlr. I like that one for some reason. And for my website, I use one screener. So I use one screener, so that helps me build my website. and it adjusts straight away because I'm not a website developer by any means, and it allows me to build both my mobile website and my website. And I think everyone should have a website. I know we have social media, but you know how quickly they 1 minute they could be taken away, and you got to start again. So I always feel that gives everyone a starting base if they really supported you. Right, right. We know we can go to whoeverdj.com. You know. I think the main thing for me that keeps me motivated is that I do it because I love it, and as soon as I feel that I don't love it is when I'll try and make changes. You know, I find like I do the same bars every week, and I've been doing them for about 10 years. When I feel it's getting a bit heavy, then I've got the luxury that I can get someone in to jump in my space and give myself a week off. I think that's important. Rest, isn't it? A rest is just as good as a change, isn't it? Or break is just as good as a change, right? And I always focus on what I love about it. I wouldn't do this if I didn't love it. I don't do it for a paycheck. You know, it does pay. It can pay really well, but I got well. Also, there's a lot of the pros, and there are a lot of pros to being a DJ. One of the main reasons I became a DJ is so I could be available for my kids during the daytime if they needed me. So that's a big motivator. And also, also as a DJ, I didn't see myself suited in a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday environment. I was at my lowest doing stuff like that. So I'm always, truly grateful and know how lucky and privileged I am to have a career where I'm working. Some weeks I work 5 hours, some weeks I work 25 hours, but it's not full time. Yeah. And I'm allowed to drink if I really want to. Yeah, no, no, I always watch that. If I work 5 days a week, I will not drink 5 days a week. I might wait till the weekend to have a drink, or always wait till the weekend. Friday, Saturday, it's nice to have a drink. Yeah, yeah. Just not get too messy. You're still there to work at the end of the day, still there to be professional. You still represent your bar and your brand, right? So I tell you what I did do, which worked. I don't do it anymore. But when I first got back, when I was first trying to get back into it and networking as well as creating my own events, I would make sure my business cards were different. Different in many ways. I made them square because we were DJs, so I made them square. So I wanted them to look like a record or mini CD case or something. So would have my details. But the different part is that when I would give them to someone, I would say I would have different artists on it. It could be Biggie, it could be Tupac, it could be Mariah Carey or Alicia Keys, Jill Scott or Marvin Gaye, and I'd have a bunch of these, and I'd pick specific artists to whom I thought might relate, or the person I was given to might relate to more. And then it kind of creates bonds. I'm not just given a business card. They take that. I was like, no, I thought about this business card. I think you might like that I play a bit more soul than everybody else, or I play R&B more than it, or I play hip hop. So I know that helped, and it was always this little standout thing. Oh, I've never seen square business cards before, but now there's a lot of them going around. But I still have square business cards. Where are they? There you go. No, still have square business cards. But now I've simplified them. We have QR codes. QR codes on them. So there's QR codes and just a logo, and each one has a QR code now. So which is we were talking about the new technology where you could give everybody link because not everybody just DJs or they do mobile events and they might meet you in a bar, or you might or they might say you might hear you play a mashup or edit because it's my one here. So take that card. You can also grab the link to it. Or I like your T-shirt because I wear my own brand, so they got access to my merch. Okay, I think I got a nice one here for you. Always consider your mind, body, and soul. Educate yourself, look after your health, and DJ because you love it.